What's good, everybody? This is the one and only GM, and today I'm making a Lee Chalan Season 2 guide. A lot of people are having trouble playing with Lee in Season 2. A lot of people are saying that his identity is different, and people just struggling overall in general. So I'm going to make this guide to teach you guys how to play with Lee in Season 2. Honestly, when it comes to his identity being changed, it's actually kind of false. You're literally doing the same stuff with Lee that you did in Season 1. You're just doing it with different moves, right? But it's kind of the same kind of gameplay where you're just trying to fish for counter hits the whole set. One of the big differences, obviously, with the Wastang 2-3 nerf, you're not going to really be going with trying to go for 50-50s like that. So what made Lee easier in Season 1 is that he could mix people up a lot better. You know, you had Wastang 2-3 into E-burst, big damage to get somebody scared to either duck Silvertail or slide. He had that, but now since this is -14 and the damage is a lot worse, you know, it's not really worth like risking that like that anymore. You know, so his mix-ups are worse when it comes to like his just natural him without heat or whatnot. So you're not really going for that. But in general, it's kind of like the same game plan. So let's get to it. 4-4-2 just rain. You get a free blazing kick, or you could do up back 3. So that's free. So 4-4-2, you kind of want to just use that for pressure, but it's mostly just to set up like counter hits. So if you do 4-4-2 just rain, you get down 4-4, they can't step it. If they swing after it, you can do down 4-3-2-3. Down 4-3-2 by itself is -10, but if they keep punishing it, you can finish the whole string. So I'll show you some stuff. So I'll show you. So if anybody presses any button, see, all free. See, can't even cross jab. You can step it, so you have to be careful. So that's why it's a hard read, but that's why you can do down 4-4, right? To stop him from sidewalking, right? And that's +5. You see that? But basically, you just doing stuff like that with Lee to try to get somebody to press. So you could do, obviously, you could do 4-4-2, down 4-4, 4-4-2, down 3, 4-4-2, down 4-1. So it's basically just trying to get people to swing back. That's your main thing. You could do a little 50-50. Obviously, you could do 4-4-2, down 3, 4-4-2, 4-2-1 hit confirm, stuff like that. Little small 50-50s. So if you're doing 50-50s with Lee, it's just like small pokes. One of the issues, obviously, with 4-4-2 that you have to remember is that after a while, people start trying to duck it. So if you do misstep, you can also misstep and then do 4-4-2. See the range? I misstepped and then did it. So you just do natural misstep and then 4-4-2, and then it comes out. But if somebody starts ducking it, you can do 4-4-3, obviously, or running 3-4. But obviously, you gotta be careful because this doesn't track. I'll show you right now. And that doesn't track neither. So somebody could step both options. See? See? So basically in neutral, you gotta be careful doing this. And if somebody starts sidewalking, just 1+2 them. 1+2 is homing, +2 on block. So yes, do some 1+2s to stop people from sidewalking in neutral. Another thing too, you wanna be fishing for down 4-3-2-3 a lot. It's gonna be kind of hard to fish for counter hits with that move because it's 14 frames, right? So after moves like this, if you do uninterruptible, right, because it's +5. So if your opponent does anything, you'll counter hit. Of course, they can armor out of it, obviously, or heat burst. But if somebody's gonna heat burst or armor, you do down 3 counter hit, and it stops. So that's a little counter hit 50-50 to get somebody fully blocked. See, they do heat burst. So stuff like that. But down a way to hit down for 3-2-3 is this. I'll show you right now. Look at the side of the screen and look for the counter hit counter, and you can confirm it. See? Just look at the corner. In the corner it says counter hit. And you could just finish it. So that's a cheap way to know if you hit the move on counter hit. So you want to be fishing for that a lot. Another thing too, when you're in the heat, you get a full combo. So you get a full combo in heat. Full combo in heat. So you want to be fishing for that. Another way to fish for that too, let's say you fight somebody that does that and then sidestep and attacks, right? You could delay catch and just wait till they sidestep. See? Counter hit. See, I'm looking at the corner, and that's how you can confirm it. Another move you want to use too, obviously, is Hitman 1-1-1. You have to be in Hitman to do it, right? So let's say you do 1+2 on block, and you know if somebody keeps doing the 13 frame mid afterwards, right? After they block it, see that? You're gonna beat it out. One thing you gotta be careful with is if somebody does magic 4 or something fast, you're gonna get beat out. So use only +2. Right? Let's try that again. I think I did it too slow. See? Anything you do. So if he does magic 4, you get beat out. If he does 2-2, it's gonna trade. See, he's gonna trade. Magic 4 will get beat out. So that's one thing you gotta be careful of. And of course, see it tracks too. Or if somebody just sidestep and duck, you get launched. A lot of people is gonna sidestep and duck when you're trying to go for Hitman 1-1-1 or anything. So that's one issue with Hitman, is that it's really weak against sidewalk. Like Hitman 1-1-1 tracks, but if somebody sidestep and ducking, you're gonna get cooked. See? Sidestep duck, evades everything. And then if you do Hitman 4, you get ducked too. So it's really rough, man. So that's Hitman's biggest weakness, is literally that you could just keep side walking and avoid every single thing out of Hitman. So basically, to stop that, you gotta cancel out of Hitman and do like mids and stuff like that. Or just wait till they sidestep. Or just, you know, wait and sidestep with them in Hitman to stop them from stepping to your weak side. Of course, you gotta be careful, because if they sidestep down forward too, you know, it's a lot of reading. If they start sidestepping and down forward too, you could do Silvertail if they sidestep with you. See, you'll hit them on counter hit. Talking about Silvertail, one of the new buffs is obviously that it's +3. That I'll be careful swinging after that, even you +3, because you see, your 1+2 could still get tracked sidewalk. So 1+2 has gotten a big nerf. The tracking is worse. The tracking is worse on everything because of the new movement buffs. So if you do Silvertail, right, you could do Silvertail, right? If you think somebody's just gonna sidewalk, right? Obviously, somebody can interrupt it. Obviously, because it's only +3, so Silvertail is gonna come out at 13 frames. So it's not really a real frame trap. And you also gotta be careful, obviously, if somebody sidestep ducks, it's gonna launch, right? So this move, the Silvertail move, is literally, you can't keep pressure with it, right? You can't. So it's just one of those moves that you just do to see how your opponent is gonna swing afterwards. See, I tried to do a frame trap and I got stepped. You could do infinite kicks, right, and stop them from stepping completely, but that's really risky because that's launch punishable. You can also do Hitman 3, but of course you gotta be careful with somebody that's a high crusher jabs to avoid it. So you see, you can stop somebody from stepping like that, but it's like I said, that's really risky. It's minus 15. So it's more of just hit somebody with it and wait to see what they do, and then from there you do a counter hit or something. So a lot of Lee's moves are like that now. Like, even though it's more plus, it's not constant pressure all the time, right? The slide is now +5, right? You're not really doing much with that, honestly. You get while staying for her if they try to move or swing. See, you can't heat burst, nothing. So that's really good. That's a real frame trap. You could just do that. And that's kind of about it with that move. You could do while staying 1, but you can step, you know. So you get hit with that way, but if I side step down, I evade, you see? So there's a lot of guessing with Lee. So it's not a lot of, like, even though his plus frames are buffed, you're not gonna stick pressure with him all the time. It's a lot of move and hit, move and hit, move and hit. Going back to Hitman 111, one way that I like to use it, I like to do this, and then I'll side step and confirm it, right? So you can side step and confirm it. It's a good way to set the move up. See? So you can use it as a whiff punish. That's what I'm trying to say. Use it as a whiff punisher, or if you do a keep out move in a Hitman, right? See? Whiff punish. So you can use it like that. It's really hard to do though. To use that, and of course in heat, you get full combo, double flip kick. Also in Hitman, one of his new changes is obviously Hitman up forward. It's really plus, right? +5. You see, they can't move. So if you do standing 3, they can't move. They can armor out of it, obviously, but if they start armoring, you can either throw or do down 3 counter hit, right? So basically in neutral, any chance you get that somebody's completely blocking when you in Hitman, and the way to get somebody blocked when you Hitman is obviously Hitman 1-1, 1+2, and it's mostly after stuff like running 3-4, where you got somebody to fully block because you're doing Hitman 1+2 and Hitman jabs. See, you got him the thing. See, you can't swing back. So once you get somebody like that, that's when you start doing Hitman up 4-4. Because it's really good. It's +5, right? So if you do down 3 and they try to heat burst or anything, so you can't step it neither. It's 2+. They can't heat burst, they can't armor, nothing. But of course they could just raw guess, right? Which is fine because Lee doesn't have a lot of 50-50s. But when somebody starts raw guessing, you can do 4-2-1, just about anything. Hit confirm, 3-3, all that stuff. And then obviously, if they just standing there, you could do it twice, or you could do running 3-4 afterwards, right? And then if they swing, obviously you could do down 4 3-2-3. You could also do running 3-4. If they just standing there. See? Of course, if they step that way too, you gotta be careful though, because this you could they put some in crouch so they can hit you out of it. So there's a lot of just making people block with chip damage and plus, and then trying to get a counter hit. Of course, you could do, if they mash anything, you get down for 3-2-3. See? When it comes to Hitman 1-1-1, a mind game that I noticed too is that you could do Hitman 1-1, and you see how the last hit is a high? You could do stuff like this. I'll show you. You do 1-1, 1+2. 1-1, bomb. So somebody tries to duck the last hit thinking it's coming. See that? Sometimes people just duck and get hit by it, so. See? That's a little mind game. And of course, Hitman jab by itself, +2. So if somebody blocks it, Hitman jab, +2. And then if they do something slower than 13, 12. So this is, they do 13, 12, and 11, you beat them out. But if they do 10, it's gonna trade. Obviously, if you notice somebody keeps jabbing while you in Hitman to try to trade with you, you can do Hitman 2 and crush them. So there's a lot of counter hit reads with Lee. You constantly trying to read buttons all the time. So if somebody tries to jab you in Hitman, do Hitman 2. If somebody tries to go mid in Hitman, like something that's 13, 12, or 11, you get Hitman 1, 1, 1. So that's the mind game. One of Lee's biggest weaknesses now is that he doesn't have something scary to stop you from crouch jabbing or going low anymore. Because if you do, this used to be a heat engager, and you see it's not a heat engager no more. See that? Nah, I crouch jab him out of it. But you know, it's decent damage, but it's not scary anymore. You might as well just bait it and just low parry it. If you think somebody's gonna crouch jab or go low. See, better just a low parry. What else? Obviously for counter hit baits, yeah, I already know, I already told you guys. Another one too that's good is obviously while staying 1. You could do it, and then you could sidewalk also to get the whiff punish with Hitman 1, 1, 1. See? Whiff punish, you see that? So you got the heat engager. Also, obviously the second hit, counter hit, you get a full counter hit conversion. So it's good just to throw it out just to see if somebody's winning a swing afterwards, and you get the counter hit conversion. On block, it's not that good because -3, but if you think somebody's gonna go high or something, so you get the counter hit. And that's +5 now this low. So after this low, you could do this uninterruptible, or you could do that. This is interruptible with crouch jab, so you could do a lot of stuff to get somebody staying still. Obviously, somebody starts stepping, you have to be careful doing DF1s, and that's when you start doing 1+2s. Also, remember too, guys, that Lee can go raw into heat after Hitman stance. So that's an easy way to go into Hitman if somebody's gonna swing, and then you in there. And then from there, you can do counter hit games. See, that's +2, right? So if somebody swings after that, you could do 2, 2, 3, magic 4, and you would hit them on counter hit. Also, when Lee is in heat, you can do stuff like down 4, 4, and then bomb down 1+2. So down 1+2 in heat is really, really good, right? So you get that down 1+2 in heat. Also in heat, he also has down 4, 3+4 is a homing move, and then you get blazing kick. And if you want to be more sweaty, you can do this. This is really hard to do. You can go on a Hitman and do Hitman up 4, 4. You can do that into this. That's way harder to do. You gotta press down or up and then cancel. His heat pressure is kind of like you basically just mixing up this, and then if somebody steps, you do down 4, 3+4. So you can do stuff like this too. See this, and then that, and then you go on a Hitman. It's like +6, right? So you could do Hitman 1+2. They start swinging. You could do Hitman 1, 1, 1. You could do Silvertail after down 1+2. If you just do down 1+2 by itself, and you think they're gonna step down 4, 3+4. I'll show you. So if I do this, see +6. forward 3+4, and it'll come out at 10 frames. So the only thing that will trade is a jab, but if it trades for a jab, you still get your guaranteed damage rate. So this is +6, but when you go into Hitman, +8, they can't do anything. Also, you could do Hitman jabs, +1, then if they swing, they do 2-2-3. They do a crouch jab, a hop kick, or a shredder kick, or whatever. One of the issues with down 1+2 that you gotta be careful with though is that down 1+2 with Lee only tracks one way, right? So I'll show you. Yeah, Lee sidestep is bad, so if you he can't sidestep down 1+2, but a lot of other characters can. So you gotta be careful doing down 1+2 because it only tracks one way. When I fight my friend that uses ball, you see, you can sidewalk it. So you gotta be careful. That this only really tracks to the right, which is this way. You see. So he has mix-up, like I said, and he has mix-ups. He has mix-ups because you could do down back 3+4. You can do obviously down forward 3+4. The 3 blazing kick. You could do down 1+2. You could do I wouldn't really recommend doing slide. You can hold crouch and go into this. I do while staying 1-2 or just while staying 1 by itself, just for plus frames, because doing the slide is too risky, right? But you could do that too. You could do he engages, dash, and then slide. So basically, when you in heat, you just want to mix up his down 1+2. You know, do your little Hitman pressure, down forward 3+4. On the wall is scary. If the floor or the wall could break, the explosion, because you could do the heat smash, right? Somebody just standing there. So his new heat moves are good. They make you want to stand still. They make the opponent block. This right here, down forward 3+4, is 0 on block. So it's neutral. So you have to do a hard read if you think somebody's gonna swing afterwards. So if you do this and they do jabs, you could do down 3, right? If they do mids, you get 2-2-3. So there's a lot of, you just gotta keep guessing. It's like I said, it's all counter hit stuff with Lee. It's all being counter hits. That's how you play Lee in this game. All counter hits. It's not working because it's like the misstep is making it do slower. But yeah, you just gotta counter hit read a lot with Lee. Let me see that. Oh yeah, also let's look at combos. With combos with Lee, this is his new combo. Back 2-4-3. And then you do easy. The heat burst combo. This is the one I came up with. Do that, and then if you do down 4-3-2-3 at the tip of the toe, you get Hitman 0-4-4, come back 3. And that's for everything. All his combos are like that. So all his combos are like that. See? And they get Hitman 0-4-4. Back 3. So you just basically do that with all his things, even while saying 2-3. While saying 2-3 is the same thing. Also, after he bursts too, if you fast enough, you get Hitman 0-4-3. It's pretty hard to do though. I would just practice it. See? Pretty hard to do. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it with season 2 Lee. You just want to poke a lot, obviously. With backseat, you gotta be careful. But you just using his pokes just to get counter hits. You're not really trying to mix up with Lee in this season. You're not really trying to mix up with Willie in the season. His wall combo is the same. You're doing the Hitman up 4-4 or back 3 stuff on the wall, which is kind of like the same stuff. I could just show you quick the combos you're doing on the wall. Quick select.
Get ready for the next battle.
So I'll show you the combo you do. The wall carry, you could do this, but I always thought 1-2 misstep was better, so this is the wall combo, you know? And then on the wall, for mix-ups, you do that wall splats. And then, of course, if you don't think they're gonna jump, see, it breaks the wall. So in heat, he's mad scary on the wall, especially if you could break the wall. You get a lot of 50-50 with him when you're in heat. But yeah, that's about it for this guide. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to subscribe and comment. And yeah, man, tell me what you think about this guide. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace out. Take care. Latest.